you're gonna preheat your oven to 450 degrees with your Dutch oven inside of it. So this Dutch oven that I have is, I believe, an 8-quart. It honestly, it holds it perfectly. I think a 6-quart could probably work, but I find that this one works the best. You're also going to need some parchment paper, probably about this size, 2 sheets if you're making a double batch, and you will need a razor blade, okay? A lot of people use this one, something like this, with the razor blade on it. I did that for a little while, but I really just found that I can get the design that I want with just this flat razor. Okay, so go ahead, put your Dutch oven into your regular oven, preheating it to 450 degrees. Okay, so for the last step, before putting it in the oven, take 1 loaf out at a time. Let the other one sit in there until it's ready to go into the, or ready for this process before going into the Dutch oven. Also, I don't really take this out of the refrigerator until my oven is fully preheated, which it is at this point. And I don't take my Dutch oven out of the oven until I'm ready to put it right in, okay? So just dump it out onto the parchment paper. And the dough is going to rise and it is going to burst. So by cutting it, we're telling it where we want it to burst, basically. So I kind of do like this moon crescent kind of cut into it, just around the side like this. And then after you have where you want it to burst, then after that you can put like a fancy design in there. I'm not super artistic, but I found one design that works for me, and so that is the one that I do almost every single time. Although I have done a few other things. I don't know if you can see it. It's just kind of like these sharp arrow patterns, and you'll see it when it comes out. It doesn't look like that. It actually looks much better, okay? So then I'm going to take this whole thing and put it into my Dutch oven, put the lid on the Dutch oven, and cook it for 20 minutes. After that 20 minutes, I'm just going to remove the lid from the Dutch oven and cook it for another 20 minutes. Everyone's oven temperature is different, but you want to cook it to 200 degrees. And it is common for sourdough to kind of have a little bit of a burnt look on top. We don't want it completely pale or blonde. Usually it has a nice brown color to it when it is properly cooked. It could still be at 200 degrees and look pale. Trust me, I've done it, but it just, that would depend on how far up or how low you had it in the oven, or how hot your temperature is in your oven. And so I'm gonna go ahead and cook both of these, and then I'll show you what they look like at the end. But what you're gonna do one more time is just pick this up, put it into your Dutch oven, put the lid on your Dutch oven, put it into your regular oven, and then cook it for 20 minutes. After the 20 minutes, take off the lid and cook it for 20 more minutes. Okay, so here is loaf number 1 out of the oven, and you're just going to lift it very carefully by the corners that you can reach of the parchment paper and put it to the side. Put the lid back on. Put it into the oven for a couple more minutes while you get the other loaf prepped and ready to go, and then repeat the process. All right, and this is loaf number 2 out of the oven. I'd love to show you the other one, but we literally just ate almost the whole loaf for dinner. So, but this is what we call an ear. This is why we cut it on the side like we do. And we definitely want to see this. When we see it rise like this, on the inside, you're going to see lots of holes. Here's the remainder of what's left over from one loaf. We had soup and sourdough. So you want holes like this. You want to see them stretch wide. All right, so that's pretty much it. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below in the comment section.